be honest, I hated AI at first, but this is really saving me time at the bench now.
What's up, guys? This is Jesse here at Jewelers Advantage. If you are new here, we're a consulting firm that specializes in AI for the luxury space. So in the context of that, we're going to talk about the AI race in this video. If you're new to AI, which many people are right now, you're in good company if it's new. The AI race could be described as very similar to the space race. There's a very Cold War era-esque dynamic unfolding between the United States and China, and essentially these two superpowers are competing with one another to have the best AI. Obviously, something like this was going to go down, and obviously it's the US and China if you're here in 2025. So what is interesting about this is in a previous video, I talked about how this dynamic was going to be kind of like the rising tide that raises all ships. You've got the best AI labs in the United States with the most funding, and then you also have China, who is continually going scorched earth on the market. That means that they release open source models that the whole world can have in order to keep the US from pulling away in the race. Basically keep them from getting out too far ahead. They release these open source models, and that makes it so other smaller developing markets would have access to really advanced AI, and it makes it so the US doesn't corner the market on the technology. That's how that's going down. So that's basically the AI race in a nutshell right now. And in the context of the jewelry industry, I believe that there is a dark horse winner for the AI race overall in how they'll deploy the technology. And then it is looking very, very good for this country in regards to AI for a traditional industry such as jewelry. And that country is the United Arab Emirates, the UAE. If you are familiar with Dubai or Abu Dhabi, they are part of the UAE. So why do I think that this country is a dark horse winner for AI? Well, it's because they've taken a completely different approach. They're looking down the road, down the racetrack. They're looking several chess moves ahead to after the models become commoditized. And what they've done is, instead of focusing on trying to compete with the US or China in developing these models, they're investing into making sure all of the citizens have access to ChatGPT Plus. That's the $20 tier of ChatGPT, the most popular AI product on the market. So why would that be a competitive advantage? The reason it's a competitive advantage is because in the United States, the power is consolidating into the tech industry. In China, the power will consolidate into the government, which runs most of the tech industry in China. So these are concentrations of power. It's not necessarily ensuring that the technology is going to become ubiquitous and useful for the entire country. What would you do if you wanted that to happen? You would make sure that the citizens are using the best models, like the UAE. So by making the models free and publicly available, it makes AI essentially the fiber of society. It's like running water or electricity. You could go anywhere in the US and China, mainly the US, but certainly the more developed parts of China, and there's going to be electricity and there's going to be running water. What happens when AI becomes that available in a country that also has some developed infrastructure and is very tech forward and is actively trying to find ways to make money outside of oil? Well, that we're going to find out, I guess. I would make the prediction that what this is going to mean is that the citizens that are going out and starting businesses and stimulating their economy are going to be more comfortable with AI, as opposed to the white-collar bloodbath that we're about to see in the United States and all of the rioting that'll probably happen when robots come into factories. That all will probably happen because there are much more defined societal guardrails and like the social contract and what we all expect out of the American dream or whatever, and that we're all supposed to get a job and the white picket fence, and then like it's all ingrained. It's all taught to us from the time that we're young that that's how that's supposed to go. Well, if these other countries move to where the flag is going, or move to where the puck is going, and their use of the technology is ubiquitous, then they're going to have advantages over all existing infrastructures and industries in markets that haven't done that. Now, if you're familiar with the jewelry industry, you know that Dubai is a hot market for luxury. Also, you know that the jewelry industry has developing manufacturing in Dubai. So think of all the people on 47th Street in New York that can barely use a smartphone or social media, and then think of them competing with like a futuristic diamond district in Dubai. I can tell you who's going to win. It's going to be Dubai. So we all need to adopt AI. We should be adopting practices like this in the United States. This is Jesse here at Jewelers Advantage. We'll see you in the next one.